Welcome everybody. My name is Sergey and I'll be one of your teachers for this particular lecture. In this lecture, I'll teach you a few things about how you can make money on Etsy. Some of you might ask this question, what is Etsy? Etsy is a site just like eBay and Amazon, and those are places where you can make a lot of money. Now, Etsy is restricted to two different things that you can make money on. It is vintage things and handmade items. And in this video, I'll teach you how you can make a lot of money by following different strategies that will increase your sales on Etsy. Now, just as a reminder, I also have a class on Udemy. Udemy is actually a special site that has over 7 million students, and I am one of the instructors on it. This site itself is amazing. You can learn all kinds of things on it too. So what I suggest for you to do is actually to enroll in my Etsy course after you watch this video, because this Etsy course is going to teach you even more stuff that I will teach you in this free video itself. So the first thing you want to do when you want to sell on Etsy is to decide what you want to sell first. And you have two things to choose from: vintage or handmade. Now, vintage is a lot easier to sell. The reason it's easier because you can find things. So your question would be, where do I find stuff for sale that is vintage and cool? Now, I suggest the first thing that you look for is garage sales. Garage sales are great for finding vintage stuff to sell on Etsy. Now, you're not always going to find awesome stuff to sell on Etsy. And one of the tips that I have for you is to make sure the item is pretty cheap. The less you pay for it, the more money you will make if it is a very nice item. So here is a pricing strategy for you. Try to find items less than 10 bucks that you spend on a garage sale, and to try to turn it at least 5 times the profit. My method is actually to try to find stuff even cheaper. Some of them I get for $1 and I try to return maybe 50 or 60 bucks for it, and that's on garage sales. Garage sales are excellent ways to make money. In fact, I have a Craigslist course as well that teaches about how to make money flipping items on Craigslist. It also works too. So what you can do is to go to a place that has a garage sale, and my tip for you is to look for stuff that you can sell on Etsy, and they have to be vintage. So what you're looking for is small items, because you don't want to pay a lot of money for shipping. Second thing you're looking for, that this particular item that you'll be getting is something somebody wants. So it has to be antique, it has to be interesting, it has to be one of a kind. So look for those kind of items. Be careful with junk or estate sales. Now, junk comes from garage sales. There's a lot of sales where people just want to get rid of stuff. And if they get rid of stuff, sometimes they get rid of things that are junk. So after you've been in a lot of garage sales, you will learn what is junk and what is treasure. Estate sales. A little bit worse here to find stuff to sell on Etsy. The reason for that, they go on eBay, they look up exactly how much this item is worth, and they price it exactly as such. Now, there is 0% chance that you'll make any money buying anything in estate sales. I totally stay away from them. In fact, this is the #1 place you will get ripped off. You will buy something over there and you will not be able to sell it at all. And if you do sell it, you will sell it for a lot less than you bought it for. It's not worth the money for you to buy stuff on estate sales. So, Etsy. Let's get back to it, and what can you do once you get all those treasures to sell. Now, for vintage items, let me show you something interesting I got. And here's an elephant. It's not vintage, but you can sell something like this on Etsy. So if you're selling something that's an elephant, let's say for example this was a vintage item and I got it for 10 bucks and I want to sell it on Etsy. #1 is the pictures. Make sure the pictures are very bright, there's a white background to them, and they look appealing. You can only use 5 pictures, so make sure you use very good pictures for every one of them. #2 thing is the description. You write as much good description about this. Make somebody really want to buy this. Why they should have this particular elephant in their house. Number 3, weight. How much does this item weigh? You have to make sure to put it in there. And the dimensions, the size of it. This is what gonna sell your particular item. The pictures, description, the size, and the measurement of this particular item. In fact, I have a lot more tips for you once you get into my class, because we'll be teaching you everything you need to know how to make a lot of money selling stuff on Etsy. This is just a preview for you to get you started. Now, when you get into my class, as you know or you don't know, it costs 20 cents to list stuff on Etsy. Now you might say, that's a lot of money. Why would I want to spend 20 cents when I can get it list stuff for free on eBay? Here is why. 3 months that you're going to be getting the listing. So you're paying only 20 cents to list something for 3 months straight. That's a lot of time for you to be able to sell this particular item. So what do I recommend for you to do? Enroll in my class. You know why? Because I'm going to give you 40 free listings just to get started. That's right, 40 free listings. And you know how much money I'm saving you right now? $8 of listing fees just to get started. Test out this method that we're going to show you, and then you'll be making money in this time that you test it out. And as always, Udemy gives you 30 days money back guarantee. In fact, if you don't make any money whatsoever enrolling in my class, just go tell Udemy to give you your money back, and I won't ask you any question. So it's a win-win situation for you. So you can start making money today. Now, keep this in mind. Etsy is a social media selling platform. It is the next level from eBay. eBay, they drive the customers to you. You don't have to do much. Putting your items there and they start to sell. Now, I'm a power seller on eBay, and eBay is different than Etsy because eBay drives the traffic to you. If you do whatever you put there, you get a lot of people who come there and they start to buy your items like crazy. It happens. It used to be this way for over the years, but the traffic is not as good as it used to be on eBay because there's other platforms out there that are making just as much money. Therefore, I recommend for you start selling on eBay, Etsy, Amazon FBA, every one of those different methods, because you don't know which one is going to be number one in a few years from now. It might not be eBay anymore. It might not be Amazon FBA. It could even be Etsy. Etsy just started its IPO this year, which means this company is going to be expanding. It's going to get bigger. And if you'll be one of the first few people who are selling on it when it's small, you're going to make a lot of money. Now, eBay itself been for a long time in business. Etsy is only 10 years old. You might think, oh, that's a lot of time. It is really not a lot of time for a company to be in this business. So, you can make a lot of money on Etsy. Here is a few more tips for you that's going to help you get started and make money on Etsy. Now, price strategy for Etsy. Price items much higher than on eBay. And you would think, why? Well, first off, people on Etsy are willing to pay a little bit more because they like Etsy. They like the handmade, they like the vintage feel, they like the community feel that Etsy gives you, and eBay does not. Now, when you're going to be selling on Etsy, let's say, for example, you don't want to sell vintage, you want to make your own stuff and create your own brand. This is what our class is all about. We want you to successfully start your own brand and start making money using social media, because Etsy is a social media enabled platform. Every time you list something, you can put it on Facebook, Twitter, anywhere you want. You can link the accounts together too, which is kind of cool. You can tell people when you have something on sale. In fact, this is the #1 method you'll be making money on Etsy. You'll be driving your own traffic to the site, and you don't have to pay Etsy to advertise, because we'll teach you how you can do this by yourself. So the amount of money you can make on Etsy, although you're going to start small, you can make a lot more than on eBay potentially. There's a lot of sellers on Etsy who are making a full-time job just selling stuff on that platform. Now, you might ask yourself, why is Etsy so cool versus eBay? Etsy is just get this better feeling to it. When people buy something from Etsy, they're less likely to return the item. You know why? They like that site. I don't know why, but people, when they buy something from me on Etsy, they love it. I never heard any of them complain about the products that I sell. Now, when I sell something on eBay, the same exact identical product, they might complain about. They might say, oh, the price was too steep, they don't like something, it's not as described, they nitpick every single thing there, because eBay has this thing about if item is not as described, you get your money back forward. So one small mistake, somebody tries to take advantage of that. It's not like that on Etsy. Etsy is like eBay used to be, and Etsy is how eBay is supposed to have been. So Etsy is actually a very nice platform for you if you are a seller. And as a buyer, you'll be very happy because you buy stuff that is handmade, you buy stuff that is vintage, and that's it. There is no other junk there that you'll be getting. So here's more strategies for you that you can make money on Etsy. So you have to think about traffic engine. How do you get everybody to go to your site? Now we're going to be talking about a lot more about trafficking and getting people to come to you so you can get a lot more sales done. Now let me tell you a few methods that you can do on your own. One of them is Facebook groups. You can just find a few Facebook groups that are talking about stuff that you're selling on Etsy. Become a member of them and then start talking to people about it and tell them, hey, listen, I have something very cool and I'm selling it on Etsy. Come and check it out. So they might come over this way, and this is how you make money on Etsy. It's really easy like that. So you're really driving traffic from all those cool different sites about. Another way, which is kind of cool, is YouTube itself. That's right, you can actually post your Etsy product on YouTube, create a video, show people what it is. So let's get back to the elephant here. You can actually show this elephant, tell people about, and then make a little story about stuff like that, and then tell people right below the video, hey, listen guys, I got this very cool elephant here, and you can buy this only in my store. And you tell them a story about. Now you make a few videos like this, you can make tons of sales, whatever you're selling. So this is the cool way of making money. You'll be engaging with a lot of people, you'll be talking to them, and you'll be making money. So I don't know why you're even watching this video anymore. You want to make money, not just watch me talk. So I suggest for you to follow the link in the bottom of this screen, and the bottom of it is going to give you a discount coupon because you watch this video and you're getting into my class, which normally sells for $198, which is a lot of money. I know nobody wants to pay $198, but you know what, this course is worth this money. So you might say, hey, that's too much, and you know what, maybe I do agree with you, it is too much. Therefore I'm giving it away today because you just watched my cool video for only $9. And I think $9 is going to give you almost, well, let's put it this way, the listing fees for Etsy are covered for $8. So you're really giving me, let's say, $1 just to do this. So let's put it this way, to you, 0% risk for you here in getting this course for only $9. It's no brainer. Get in. See you on the inside.